Alright. Shalom. The elect of Israel. To the hopeful elect of Israel. You Hebrew Israelites. You so-called Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans, West Indian and Haitians, and the foreign Israelites that are scattered across the four corners of the earth that look like the other nations. I want to give all praises to Barak, Yahawah, Barak, Yahawashi. Barak, Yahawah, Barak, Yahawashi. Got to give all praises to Yahawah, Bahasham, Yahawashi, Bahasham, Rawchaa, Qadash. I want to give double honors to the elders and apostles, Shalom. I want to give double honors to the elders and apostles, a great millstone, who led me to this truth, who will teach the flock how to live, repent, pray, fast, and show forth the Lord's righteousness and mercy, judgment, forgiveness, and wrath to all those who are part of the hopeful elect, who are the biblical Israelites, Hebrew Israelites in the Bible. And, want to thank Bahasham Yahawashi for waking us up yet another day to exalt the name of Bahasham Yahawashi. And, like I said, they were ordained to teach the flock how to, through mercy, judgment, forgiveness, and wrath. Lord willing, be part of that number. Lord willing, us be edifying to those who fear in the name of the Lord and are striving to show forth the Lord's righteousness every day. To the best of their abilities, His judgment always comes to light. Zephaniah chapter 3, verse 5, it is not slack. 2 Peter chapter 3, verse 9. So, I'm going to get back into a part 2. I had a long day at the plantation yesterday. And so I'm going to get back into this, and also some things that are going on that is fairly new that's happened in the last few days. A couple of Accuse were talking about them. I posted them in my community board, but they were talking about there was some kind of oil spill in Philadelphia, and all their tap water is destroyed. Now you got half the news saying that it's not, and then the other half of the news saying it is. Just all types of stuff. But I put that in the comment board. It's fairly new, and also just where I can post about a minute ago. He was talking about there was a oil spill in the UK. So I'm gonna do a land back on that at the end of this lesson, and then Lord willing, I can get some more things handled before I got to go to the plantation today. So Lord willing, this be edifying to the flock, and we're gonna get started right here. Back with I had a scripture that I wanted, 2 more scriptures that I wanted to come back in on, because I left off at 2 Thessalonians chapter 1 verse 8. We're gonna do Hebrews chapter 3 verse 10. And it shows you like how mad this devil is at us preaching his truth. Because the fact that, I only have, of course, I really don't have too many people watching my videos, but I'm still shadow banned. It says there's 0 people. There's 0 people watching my video right now. Obviously, somebody's here. That's crazy. I didn't think they would shadow ban me. I'm not, I'm nobody. That's how much shows how much fear they got of this truth. And at the same time, I be teaching, and I'll always see I'll see like a cop parked like way somewhere, like almost like they trying to like listen, like they got some kind of, some kind of mic or something to be able to hear in or something. Like, it's crazy. But every time I go teach, they be way over there somewhere. They know who I am. They know. I don't hide the truth from nobody. But it says Hebrews chapter 3 verse 10. I try to be circumspect how I explain it to people, but if they ask too much, I'm be like, all right, I'm gonna declare it to you. You better repent and convert. The Lord gonna come take you out. And if you can't convert, I told them, there's only 3 ways out of here. You gonna get saved, or you gonna die as a 2/3 and come back in the kingdom later, or you gonna die and come back into slavery. That's all you got. There ain't no other Ain't no other way around it. So Hebrews chapter 3, verse 10 says, "Wherefore I was grieved with that generation and said, they do always err in their heart, and they have not known my ways. So I swear in my wrath, they shall not enter into my rest." And that's 2/3 of our people. They still going out trying to figure out how to serve the Lord. And some of them not even trying to serve the Lord at all. They just out there doing whatever, trying to survive in Esau Edom's land. And we know that's what that leads to. That always leads to death. We ain't never got nowhere here. Now we got Isaiah chapter 35:14. Or chapter 35, verse 4, Salakia. Say to them that are of a fearful heart, be strong, fear not. Behold, your God, Yahawah, will come with vengeance, even Yahawah with a recompense. He will come and save you. So Lord willing, be part of that number. He's going to come get his people, the ones that endure to the end. So Lord willing, he keeps the spirit on us to stay in this faith and to keep moving. So we're going to go and watch a little bit of this about the France protest. They turned violent. Oh yeah, they burning more than just the town hall. They burning a lot of stuff. It's getting real. Yeah, they're getting It's coming to America. I actually was talking to somebody. They was talking about man, it's crazy out there. They said they went on vacation. Okay. Somebody that at the plantation, they said they went on vacation. And they said it was crazy out there. They went up there. They went to Paris.
Action. Workers staged a nationwide protest, more than one first of coordinated action. It was the 9th day of strikes across the country, but the first of coordinated action. Workers staged a nationwide protest. More than 1 million people took to the streets. This is according to the government. Unions claim the number was much higher, 3.5 million. Soon, people's fury caused flare-ups. Protesters clashed with the police. They set fires, launched smoke bombs, and damaged property. The entrance of the Bordeaux City Hall was set ablaze. Flights were disrupted, and airport terminals blocked. Trains were cancelled, and electricity output was cut. Tear gas and water cannons were used to disperse the crowds. In total, at least 450 people were arrested. 123 police officers were injured. What's behind this public anger? The proposed pension reform. It aims to increase the retirement age from 62 to 64. It's been a very unpopular proposal from the very beginning. But the French president, Emmanuel Macron, remains defiant. He rammed the legislation through the assembly last week, and his recent interview was the last straw, perhaps. He defended the reform. He said it would be implemented this year.
Look, the more we wait, the worse it will get. And so, this reform is necessary. I say this to the French people. I do not enjoy this. I would have preferred not to do this. But it's because of a sense of responsibility. And I express my commitment in front of you.
It may be his sense of responsibility, but as of today, people hold him responsible for the chaos. They're calling him stubborn. They say he wants to keep the retirement system financed at their cost. But Macron is not backing down, and neither are the protesters. They've planned another round of strikes for next Tuesday. Why Tuesday? Because France was supposed to get a high-profile guest on that day, Britain's King Charles. He was due to visit Bordeaux, making it his first foreign state visit rather, as a monarch. But he has cancelled the trip today, and it's not shocking. People were not thrilled about the visit. There were calls to cancel it. They refused to roll out the red carpet for the king. And we mean it literally. Union workers snubbed the king. They refused to provide red carpets, flags, and furniture for his reception. King Charles has always had bad timing. He's probably used to it, but the Macron government may not be able to sustain it beyond a point. Why are they so adamant about the pension reform? You see, the French pension system is generous. It's a point of pride for them. But there's a problem. The French spend more time in retirement than they spend working, meaning an average adult's life has more years of retirement than work, at least as compared to their European peers. And this leads to increased public debt because your pension bill is very high. An aging population only makes it worse. And France already has one of the highest public debts in Europe. So in the long run, they do need a pension reform.
See, this wicked system is falling. It's falling. They doing it because they ain't got no choice, because they know their kingdom coming to the ground and nobody don't care. There's going to be those uproars. It's going to be bad like that. It's going to stay bad like that. So this is, I'm going to get a couple more of these and then we're going to filter in some scriptures. But, you know, that's what's going on in France. They continuing to strike. Now King Charles can't even come in there. You know, they destroying that place. Now, pro-Iranian forces in Syria warned they can respond to further U.S. strikes. And basically, they were saying that hey, let's see, what is this? Oh wait, this is the strikes, but this is talking about. Let's read this. Pro-Iranian forces in Syria said that an online statement late Friday they have a long arm to respond to further U.S. strikes on their positions after tip of strikes in Syria over the last 24 hours. So here it comes. This is World War III basically starting up, you know. And then another Akim, or it was Elder Apostle Tahar. He put did a video on how in the next 2 weeks this global system is about to change. So we're getting there. You know, this is beautiful times for Israel. Lord willing, we part of that number. Get up out of here. But you know, this is just them saying, hey, you know, they're not backing down. And there you got Trump talking about they will respect us, these other nations. Well, we're gonna find out when they gang up on your ass and blow your ass up, according to the scriptures. They're gonna gang up and take your ass out. So down here in Israel, protesters are now 3 months strong. Defense Minister Yoav Gallant appears to halt investigation. So
it's going to be a power-packed Sunday for the Indian Space Agency ISRO. The agency will be performing its second launch mission in calendar year 2023. That's this year. The largest indigenous rocket LV-M3 will be lifting off in a mission known as LV-M3-M3. This is the second commercial mission to be performed with this particular rocket known as LV-M3 or Launch Vehicle Mark III. This is India's largest rocket built by the Indian Space Agency ISRO. It's called the Geosynchronous Satellite Launch Vehicle Mark III or LV-M3. The rocket has had an amazing track record. It's delivered successes in all its 5 launches to date. In October 2022, the LV-M3 flew a commercial mission for the first time. UK-based telecom firm OneWeb has signed up with ISRO's commercial arm for 2 launches. This was an agreement to launch 72 satellites in 2 batches of 36 each. It would bring in more than 1,000 crore rupees or $125 billion in revenue for India. OneWeb is launching a fleet of satellites that would beam down internet signals back to Earth. OneWeb is piecing together a constellation of more than 600 satellites. So far, OneWeb has completed 17 launches. The one that's happening in India on March 26th is the final launch. After today's launch, OneWeb would have more than 600 satellites in low Earth orbit. These satellites will then beam down internet connectivity across the globe.
Right. So this is more. It's not showing nothing else. So it's just kind of showing that they've been there, you know, protesting for 3 months now. So basically, you know, the first just before the beginning of the year and into the beginning of this year, you know, because the first year of the month is March. The first month of the year is March, like it. So, you know, they've been out there, you know, doing what the Lord wants them to do, cause some uproars. And we're gonna filter in a couple of scriptures for these, and then we're gonna go over here and deal with that in just a moment. So we're gonna do Hosea chapter 11, verse 10. It says, "They shall walk after the Lord Yahawashi. He shall roar like a lion. When he shall roar, then the children shall tremble from the west." And they're talking about his men, his men who come out and teach in the highways and byways. You know, we're out here roaring like lions and telling them that they're going to pay for what they did to the children of Israel. And, you know, the kings of these nations are trembling, specifically from America, Babylon the Great. They're terrified. You know, they act like they're not terrified, but they know this is the end. They hid all this stuff for a long time, you know, praying that it would never happen to their gods, you know. So Jeremiah chapter 25, verse 30. And it reads, "Therefore prophesy thou against them all these words, and say unto them, the Lord shall roar from on high, and utter his voice from his holy habitation," which is his men of Israel, the men. "He shall mightily roar upon his habitation, he shall give a shout, as they that tread the grapes against the inhabitants of the earth." And that's what we're doing. We're supposed to be standing in great boldness and coming against these nations. And that's what you know, Elder Apostle on down and Great Millstone has been doing for the last 40 years. And it's coming to an end. You know, these are the commandments of the Lord. You know, and it says a noise shall come even to the ends of the earth. And that's talking about the intercontinental ballistic missiles. For the Lord Yahawashi shall have a controversy with the nations, the other 17 nations, what they did to Israel. He will plead with all flesh. He will give them that are wicked unto the sword, saith the Lord Yahawashi. For thus saith the Lord of hosts, behold, evil shall go forth from nation to nation, and a great whirlwind shall be raised up from the coast of the earth. And that's the intercontinental ballistic missiles. But on top of that, all these hailstorms and all this other stuff that's a build up to this point that's going to basically destroy damn near everybody. Verse 33 reads, "And the slain of the Lord shall be at that day from one end of the earth to the other end of the earth. They shall not be lamented, neither gathered nor buried. They shall be dung upon the ground." That's what we need to be preparing for. We got these women out here, 2/3, trying to talk about how we need to worry about how we need to serve them. What is that going to do for anybody for that? Like, what? That's not going to help none of us. Okay, we're here for the flock, the elect of Israel. Lord willing, we part of that number. But if we don't make it out, you know, we want the elect to make it out. So that's why we warn them to the best of our abilities. You know, that's what the Lord wants. He said, "You love me, feed my flock." And if we're going to be saved out of this, in a sense, we're the flock too. We're tending after ourselves. You know, love thy neighbor as thyself. You know, we got to be on one accord and care about each other. You know, because everybody else don't care about us. We was beaten down so low we didn't even care about ourselves for a long time. You know, this is us coming back to the love of Yahawashi. And it first starts with how you treat your brother. and also the sincere Aquath. You know, I think about it like that too. You know, ones that's sincere, try not to be. I try not to be hard on none of the elect. You know, whomever they are. You know. Yes, that's con. It is, but it says it's supposed to be likewise. Not that we're supposed to be serving you, but it's like, you know, we're supposed to be kind to you. You know, supposed to be kind. You know, and understanding. You know, because we all still go off. You know, to be understanding to those women that have mercy on them, because it says, "You show mercy, we give mercy." You know, and the women, the aqua that are trying to the best of their abilities, you know, Lord willing, He puts the spirit on us men to make it easier. You know, because the women is the weaker vessel. You know, to make sure that we don't be too harsh at times on the women, but the men, you know, we're supposed to go hard on them because we're supposed to be men. You know, and it's good to go hard on the women too. It's good to go hard on the women too, but you know, just to keep the discernment. You know, Lord willing, keeps me discernment to, you know, to have a balance of it. You know, so, but it all come out. It all come to play out. But this is Isaiah 59 11. It says, we roar all like bears and mourn like sore doves. We look for judgment, but there is none, for salvation, but it is far off from us. But now it's closer. But you know how we look for judgment is through these uproars and seeing this kingdom fall and all these other things. These are forms of judgment. They are, because they're scourges, you know, to get us to repent and convert. But it's not the full righteous judgment that's it's not in the land yet. You know, we're still getting persecuted. We're still having to deal with all these other things. There's people that, you know, that are in the elect that are being falsely accused still. So we need that full judgment, which is that blood of the land needs to be shed. Or the people who shed the land of the blood, they need the blood in the land. Their blood needs to be shed. You know, and that's 2/3, and that's all the other nations. That's true justice. You know, and that's why He says to fear not, or worm Jacob. You know, thou worm Jacob, do not fear not, because I'm not coming to destroy you. You know, He's coming to destroy the wicked. So Lord willing, you know, He keeps us in this mindset. So it says, Isaiah chapter 5, verse 30, in that day they shall roar against them like the roaring of the sea. And if one look unto the land, behold, darkness and sorrow, and the light is darkened in the heavens thereof. And that's from the intercontinental ballistic missiles. That's from them mushroom clouds. And these people out here, they really don't believe in it. And when you do tell them, they'll be like, "Oh, well, I got something set up for it. I got a lake house in the mountains, and we all good." You know, they just think that they just gonna hide out and make it. Okay, the Lord got these people bugged out, man. They don't understand how dangerous this is gonna be. So it says, Isaiah chapter 17, verse 12. Woe to the multitude of many people which make a noise like the noise of the seas, and the rushing of the nations that make a rushing like the rushing of mighty waters. The nations shall rush like a rushing of many waters, but Yahawah shall rebuke them, and they shall flee far off, and shall be chased as the chaff in the mountains before the wind, and like the rolling thing before a whirlwind. That's the intercontinental ballistic missiles. And behold, at evening tide trouble, and before the morning he is not. This is the portion of them that spoil us, and a lot of them that rob us, talking about the elect of Israel. This is their portion. They're going to be destroyed. And they're going to, like I said, they're going to come in like a flood. But the Lord is going to rebuke them. And He's going to lift up that standard, which is His elect men. Lord will be part of that number. That chariot fire, them laser beams, and indefinitely them nukes. And then after whoever survives that, we're going to come back down with the Lord, with the ones that were beheaded for the name of Yahawashi, and destroy everything on this planet, and take take Amalek, the Edomites that hiding out, take them out, and they're gonna go back into slavery. And they're gonna birth their whole nation back in together. They're gonna serve for 1,000 years. harsh judgment. And you know, because they never wanted to let up. They just thought we was a game. They say we crazy. They say there's something wrong with us. Didn't want to act like, oh yeah, we cool. Yeah, whatever. Whatever. Y'all know what it is.
Tori on the beat.
That's why y'all finna get destroyed, because these people are liars, man. They will partake in that lake of fire. At least they repent if they can. Psalm 65, verse 7. Which stealeth the noise of the seas. Let me go up a little bit. Let me go up a little bit. By terrible things, is verse 5. By terrible things in righteousness wilt thou answer us, O Yahawah, our salvation with power. You can say power right there too as well. Who art the confidence of all the ends of the earth, and them that are afar off upon the sea, which by his strength settleth fast the mountains, which is the nations, being girded with power, which stealeth the noise of the seas, and the noise of their waves, and the tumult of the people. And he goes steal away with the nukes. There's so much stuff that's leading to these nukes, so many scriptures, and all these people that have read the Bible, they want to say, oh, well, you can just believe how you want to believe it. Nope. It's got to be one way. So, you know, this is the only way that it's gonna come down. This is all we waiting on is that sea hit, that Karagma. That's all we waiting on. That's all we waiting on. These to most of the people, they going crazy out here, man. And people out here in America, they've never seen nothing like that. There's never been on a mass scale like that. It will happen a little bit, you know, that one year, but it hasn't been like it's not gonna be. It's about to get bad after they shut down this money. So Psalms 46 verse 6. The heathen raged, the kingdoms were moved with them intercontinental ballistic missiles. He uttered his voice, the earth melted. You know, there's so many prophecies about this place being destroyed. And then people say they believe in the word, they believe in the Bible. It's been like that everywhere I go. How you gonna say you love the Lord and you believe in the Lord, and then you just skip over this whole scripture like this? It's just crazy. So this is verse 7 because they terrified. They don't want it to happen. We terrified too, but we want it to happen. You know, we want this to come. You know, because ultimately it's gonna save Israel. Lord, wouldn't we part of that number? We want the will of the Lord. So the Lord of the hosts, the Lord of hosts, Bahasham, Yahawashi is with us. The God of Jacob, which is Yahawah, is our refuge. Selah. Come, behold the works of the Lord, what desolations he hath made in the earth. And that's what's coming and has been coming. So right here, it's talking about nearly 100 billion in deposits, pools from banks. Officials call system sound and resilient. Yeah, whatever. Okay. These people talking about, they always say they sound and resilient. So says deposits at all U.S. banks steady at 15.26 trillion. There are no other details provided on the meeting. You know, they trying to sustain it, but it's gonna fail. You know, they're going to fail. They're just pumping money in this thing and being like, it's all good, because they trying to get that sea hip ready. That's all they're doing. They're trying to keep panic from happening while all these oil spills and everything else is going on. I heard that in Philadelphia, all the bottled water got bought up. All of it is just bought up. So now a whole bunch of people out there without water right now. And you got to think that's way more. It's way more severe than that. You got to think all the restaurants, all these places that use water to do stuff, the grocery stores, all of them. There's no way for them to clean their meat, clean their food, do none of that. It's just it's chaos out there. Okay, it's about to be bad out there. People don't understand how serious that is, you know, and especially over there. So, you know, that's just kind of them talking about, you know, talking about the banks, saying they funnel in more money. You know, we've been getting into that quite a lot. So this is some judgment that happened to, you know, these high officials. They're starting to see that they're not safe. So former Obama official died after a pilot of bombardier jet flip switch, plane abruptly pitched up. And we'll watch a little bit of this. See what's going on right here.
Here's a simple ball striking technique that's helped thousands of
Slovakia. Okay, you saw he playing golf and shit.
I was like, sorry, breaking news.
Now, yeah, look at that doggone plane crash, Slovakia. Take this guy out. America's just is being wounded, and the Lord's judging Israel. He might have been in jail. We don't know, but we know that the Lord is grievous deaths to a lot of people. You know, places going down. Thought they would be talking or something. They just got the video of it out there, them standing out there. So this is a second base hit in Syria following retaliatory strikes. You know, showing rockets hit another U.S. base in Syria on Friday following the U.S. strike on fatalities controlled by the Iranian-backed militia groups. Rocket attacks fired the Green Base village located at the Al-Omar gas field in northeastern Syria, caused no casualties. You know, but this is just kind of just to show that there's, you know, that they're attacking America. They're attacking. You know, this is not something that's normal for America. Okay, there's not usually people attacking America, bucking up, and all this stuff. This is all these nations getting ready to come and defend. You know, and we're gonna pull it up because I haven't pulled it up in a little bit because I want to kind of go into this. You know, Lord putting spirit on me to bring it back up again. You know, because this is a very, very important prophecy that is coming to pass along with them issuing in this Quran. It's all going to happen kind of in motion at the same time, in a sense, if you would say. But Ezekiel chapter 38, verse 4, and I will turn thee back and put hooks in thy jaws, which is basically turning Russia into that Soviet Union, and will bring thee forth in all thine army, horses and horsemen, all of them clothed with all sorts of armor, even a great company with bucklers and shields, all of them handling swords. Persia, Ethiopia, and Libya with them, all of them with shield and helmet. Gomer and all his bands, the house of Togarmah, the north quarters and all his bands, and many people with thee. Be thou prepared and prepare for thyself, thou and all thy company that are assembled unto thee, and be thou a guard unto them. And the guard is Russia because they started first. They started fighting first. When you look up in Revelations chapter 13, verse 2 about the bear, okay, the statue with the leopard and the bear. The leopard is Esau, Edom, the so-called white man, America, Babylon, the great Edomites. And the leopard goes back to the word leprosy, which is in Leviticus. You know, it's you don't have a pigment. That's what they are. And then when you look up that Strong's definition of bear, it means to be sufficient, to be enough. And there's going to be enough of these nations to take down America, Babylon the Great. That's what it's talking about. So I'm going to pull up a couple precepts, and then we're going to go into some more prophecy, some more things that are talking about that are going to happen. You know, that in some of these, what these stores is doing, some of the stuff they're doing, you know, what's going on right out here. So Ecclesiasticus or Ecclesiastes, yeah. Ecclesiastes chapter 3, verse 8. And it reads, says, a time to love, a time to hate, a time of war, and a time of peace. We're in the time of war right now. You got 2/3 of our people talking about the Lord is all about love. Well, why is there a war? You know, it's the time for everything, and this is the time of war. He's got great anger in his heart towards these other nations. He said he's wicked. He's angry at the wicked every day. You know, they try to make it seem like, oh, I can't remember his name, but he was in he did that movie. He was in that movie called Ted, and he was on national TV with a damn cross marked on his head. And Azan Amath, the second, he one of the Accuse, he did a video on it. That's how I learned about it. He did a video on it, and he was talking about the dude. He was like saying like, oh, there the Lord comes back for sinners. No, he's not coming back for sinners, man. He's coming back for his elect, okay, who have repented and ceased from sin to the best of their abilities. Not these people out there, man. But Jeremiah chapter 51, verse 20, thou art my battle axe and weapons of war. For with thee I will break in pieces the nations, and with thee I will destroy kingdoms. And this is the elect men, the 144,000 elect. You know, Lord willing, we part of that number. You know, Lord willing, I'm part of that number. I'd like to be there to partake. You know, said he will destroy the kingdoms with these men after the nukes when he comes back down. It says, with thee I will break in pieces the horse and his rider, and with thee I will break in pieces the chariot and his rider. I will with thee will I also break in pieces man and woman, and with thee I will break in pieces young and old, and with thee I will break in pieces young man and the maid. I will also break in pieces with thee the shepherd and his flock, and with thee I will break in pieces with the husbandman and his yoke of oxen, and with thee I will break in pieces captains and rulers. The Lord's gonna come and break in pieces everything that's here that doesn't say Yahawashi that Ezekiel 9 chapter 4. He is going to come and destroy everything in this thing. And people think it's a joke. Lord willing. Lord willing. You know. I pray that I could be of use to him. You know. That's all I want to be, is just be used to Yahawashi, not be left out here, man. I want to get left out here. I want, you know, all the hopeful elect to make it. You know, they've done a lot before I got here and gave me a lot of strength to do this. But Proverbs 21:15 says it is a joy to the just to do judgment, but destruction shall be to the workers of iniquity. And when we tell them that this place is getting destroyed, they all get all butthurt and salty about it. And, you know, they all, man, even the other 17 nations, even our own people, 2/3, try to say that we speaking evil, like talking about we better off here and we wouldn't be okay. We would be better off. We would be so good if we had, you know, that we got the military. That's why we live good. No, man, this military wicked, man. And they know it is. But they still go behind them. They still side with them and be like, oh well, since we ain't got to deal with no problems like the other places in the world, we still gonna follow. And then they try to speak up for them. And that's what's gonna get them destroyed. So Isaiah chapter 2, verse 4, he shall judge among the nations and shall rebuke many people. And this is what's gonna happen after destruction. You know, we're gonna start at verse 3. They're gonna come up and they're gonna learn. They're gonna, you know, he's gonna basically put them into slavery after this point. But after all this happens, again, this is what's gonna happen. It says that many people shall go and say, come ye and let us go up to the mountain of the Lord, Yahawashi, to the house of Jacob. And he will teach us of his ways, and we will walk in his paths. For out of Zion, which is Israel, shall go forth the law, and the word of the Lord Yahawashi from Jerusalem, which is the nation of Israel. And he shall, and you know, and Jerusalem will be, you know, where it is right now, you know, the headquarters. That's where it's going to be. And he shall judge among the nations and shall rebuke many people, and they shall beat their swords into plowshares and their spears into pruning hooks. Why? Because they're going to go into slavery. The nation shall not lift up sword against nation, neither shall they learn war anymore. And that's what they're going to have to do. They're going to be forced to go back to the statutes and commandments. You know, they're going to be forced. And, you know, Lord willing, that comes soon. We ready to go home. Right here, it talks about Panera Bread start scanning customers' palms. And this is from, yeah, I don't know who this guy is. I don't know who he is, but he seems like a new follower, but he went and found this. This is where I got it from HIM, Hebrew Israelite Milk. Go ahead and subscribe to him. You know, he probably just a new brother, you know, like me, coming in the word of Bahasham and Rawchaa. So, you know.
I could even go back 3 years ago. They wasn't talking.
Let me see.
Okay, Shalom.
Yep, he's a brother. He's woke up in the truth. But this is Panera Bread. They started scamming people's palms. You know, I'm gonna leave that right there for the people who want to go subscribe to him and look at the brothers' videos. You know, I always like sharing other brothers' videos and, you know, edifying, helping, you know, other brothers, you know, have people to go listen to and be edified. You know, we're all on the same team. But 1 Kings chapter 19, verse 18, and I always like to show where I found something. If I didn't look it up myself, I always like to do that. So verse 19, 1 Kings 18, it says, "Yet I have left me." Oh, hold on. Salakia. Is it on the right page? Salakia. Can't even see it. Let me pull it up over here. Okay. Got just a couple more things that I want to go over, and then we'll close out. But it says, 1 Kings 19, it says, "Yet I have left me 7,000 in Israel, all the knees which have not bowed to Baal." And 7 just means completion. You know, it's going to be a complete number of men who are going to stand boldly before this demonic symbol. And every mouth which have not kissed him, which means we had not bowed down to this beast system. And we're not going to bow down. It don't matter what they got going on with they Panera Bread, scanning palms, and all the other stuff they got going on. So now we got Romans chapter 11, verse 4. This is basically the precept to that. So then it reads, "But what saith the answer of Yahawah unto him? I have reserved myself 7,000 men who have not bowed the knee to the image of Baal." So even so, at this present time, there's also a remnant according to election of grace. Lord willing, we're part of that number. You know, that's the ones that's gonna make it out of here. You know, that's what the Lord's coming for. He's coming for his elect. So here is some stuff talking about high anxiety. More than a third of U.S. adults are stressed out over money. So it says more than a third of the U.S. adults say the fragile state of the economy is stressing them out. But you see in them other articles, they talking about, oh, the economy's great. It's doing just fine. And that's how America is. Their system is designed to give you what you don't need to hear. That's how they do news. They tell you everything's good. The water just got polluted. It's all good. Don't worry about it. And then the people start dying. Oh, don't worry about it. Take the juice box. It's all good. Because they're ultimately trying to kill us. You know? So more than a third of U.S. adults say the fragile state of the economy is stressing them out with the impact of high inflation, a popular concern. New poll shows about half of U.S. adults in households earning less than $60,000 annually, and about 4 in 10 of those in those households earning $60,000 to $100,000. They say they're very stressed by their personal finances, according to the Associated Press Center for Public Affairs Research. Roughly a quarter in those higher income households reporting worrying about money. And that's what their God is. Their God is money. That's why they worry about it. They don't worry about Yahawashi. They don't think about Yahawashi at all. You know? But this is what's happening. Job chapter 27, verse 14. You know, you got all these young girls talking about they want to commit suicide because they don't got no money, and right here is because of this. Job chapter 27, verse 14, this prophecy is being fulfilled. If his children be multiplied, it is for the sword, and his offspring shall not be satisfied with bread. And they're not going to be satisfied. They know they got to pay. They know they're going to have to go to World War III and die in the war, you know. And the wives are going to be left out here with nothing. And that's when the women are going to be trying to come up to the elect men who the Lord reserved. They're going to come up talking about take us in our name, you know, because our reproach. And the Lord's going to have the spirit on us, Lord willing, to let them know, hey, not you. Because you thought this was a game. You was out scoffing, whatever, you know. You don't even know the Lord put the spirit on us where we can read people's minds. We don't know. But the Lord said he's going to renew our strength. He's going to turn that chip back on in us, you know, the mark of Yahawashi. That's our spiritual seat here, you know, of the Lord, you know, this doctrine, you know. He said he's going to turn them men back on. He's going to lift up that standard. So Lord willing, we part of that number, man. Lord willing, I'm part of that number. But Job 27:15 says, those that remain of him shall be buried in death, and his widows shall not weep. And that's also talking about them Christian Israelites and the Yah Israelites and the Old Testament Israelites. Those ones, some of them, they've already been reserved to remain dead in the congregation of the dead. You know. So this is Isaiah 55, verse 2. It says, wherefore do ye spend money for that which is not bread, and your labor for that which satisfies not? Because we always got to keep going, getting more and more money. It says, hearken diligently unto me, and eat ye that which is good, and let your soul delight itself in fatness. Talking about this doctrine, you know. Incline your ear and come unto me, hear, and your soul shall live, and I will make an everlasting covenant with you, even the sure mercies of David. And that's what we hope for, you know, spiritually. And that's what we hope for spiritually and physically, to be saved, you know. You know, we pray the Lord has mercy on us like he did David. And David went off, you know, he you know, sent that man's wife out there, that man out there and took his wife, you know, but the Lord still had mercy on him. So, you know, for us going off and us doing our sins, we hope the Lord forgives us, you know, by this charity and by having mercy on others. I even think about like when the times, like, you know, maybe a brother's not treating me all the way right, or maybe, you know, stuff like that. And I'm not saying that that's happened before. I'm saying, like, let's say it comes to that time, you know, it's good to still, like, you can try to rebuke him and reprove him and stuff, but if he doesn't listen, you know, it's good to, you know, possibly still have mercy on that brother, you know. And that way the Lord will really look at it and be like, man, you know, that shows the fear of the Lord, you know. Because that brother might be, you know, just out of his right mind. The Lord snap him back into it, and then he come to repentance. You know, that's what we mainly want to get people to come to repentance. I don't want to hinder somebody in doing that, but it's not. I'm not saying don't rebuke them sharply, but, you know, just don't put a curse on the brother. You know, just right off the back if something get done wrong. You know, but, you know, if they keep doing it, then yeah, some people you got to get them out of here because they ain't brothers. But I was just listening to one of the Akim yesterday. Shalom 777, and something put the spirit on me. There was somebody done messed with him, man, because he was angry yesterday at camp, and he was angry, man. Somebody did something to him, so I sent him some prayers for the Lord to avenge his adversary, or avenge him of his adversaries and take them out. You know, get them out of his life, get him away from his life, because he was like saying like somebody was in his camp, and you know, because some of the 2/3 is in some of these camps, even in GMS. Some of them is trying to be around GMS. Not saying that they're the ones that are in GMS. I'm talking about the ones that are coming around the camp, trying to be part of them, you know, stuff like that. You know, the ones that aren't sincere, because you know, you got brothers that's not in GMS as well that are sincere, you know, but like I say, you just got to be careful. 2/3 is everywhere, you know, and that everybody's starting to wake up, and you're going to have those 5 foolish wives trying to come up and be like, no, we you know, we trying to wake up now, because it's all about when you hear the truth and how you react on it, not when you come into the truth. You know, you come into the truth and you really trying to, you know, be saved, the Lord's going to see that. So Proverbs chapter 12, verse 11, he that tilleth the land shall be satisfied with bread, talking about this doctrine. But he that followeth vain persons is void of understanding. See, they all these these vain people, all they do is go around and, you know, they try to make money and think that's going to sustain them. They think that's success. They really do. They really think that's success. You know, having a house, a wife, picket fence, backyard, and a pool. That's nothing. That's vanity. And then they say they believe in the Lord. So I'm talking about these people bugged out. But now right here it says, woman builds a right past his house. And basically, this is talking about how they make it to where they preserve biological sex. Okay, saying like if you're a male or female. But my whole thing that wanted to bring this up is this is backwards. You know, the men are the ones that identity is being attacked right now, not women. You know, they got more feminism and stuff out here for women than way more than men. Men has become the lowest of the lowest tier, you know, and just like, you know, we all know the woman's supposed to serve the man, you know, it's supposed to be a system. And you know, he even taught us young men to be likewise, you know, how the woman treats us, we're supposed to be likewise. We're supposed to, you know, make sure that we serving Bahasham and Yahawashi, so they can aid us correctly, and then there's no disruption in the body, you know, in the family, you know. And Israelite men, how we are, we're in all sense, we're loving, you know, we're not like just like, oh, cook me a sandwich type men. We're spiritual men, you know. We really love our wife, you know, we're gonna sit down and teach them stuff. We're gonna show them ways of the Lord. That's what we're supposed to be doing with our woman, showing the ways of the Lord, doing stuff like that. You know, she gonna cook, clean, do whatever. I'll go, you know, go do camp, come back, you know. But you know, as you're learning, you're supposed to be teaching your wife, hey, look what the Lord did right here, because it says if you want to learn something, ask your husband at home. She's supposed to be praying, learning too, seeking the Lord, you know. But you know, I've seen a lot of problems with some of the Accuse that have been watching. They have their women watching other Accuse, and that can be a problem because, you know, there was one man, he was talking about his woman wanted to leave him to get a stronger band in the Lord or whatever, and that's completely going off, you know. And that's why if you get a woman, you know, she becomes a wife or whatever, she's supposed to only listen to you. You know, and that's why I'm very skeptical about being with a woman, because women are old, you know, in this day of age, they don't think like that. They don't understand the order, you know. They don't understand that order. So, but Jeremiah 31:22 says, how long wilt thou go about, O backsliding daughter? For the Lord hath created a new thing in the earth. A woman shall compass a man. And this is what's going on, you know. And then there's a couple more scriptures kind of concerning a lot of how these women are, and that's why we don't deal with them, for the majority of them. Proverbs chapter 5, verse 3, for the lips of a strange woman drop as a honeycomb, and her mouth is smoother than oil, but her end is bitter as wormwood, sharp as a two-edged sword. Her feet go down to death, her steps take hold on hell. Because Eve inevitably followed Esau, Edom, all the ones that don't want to repent, come back to this doctrine and be put back in order. Just like us, we want to be put back in order. There's an order, and if you follow that order and serve Bahasham and Yahawashi, you shouldn't have no problems with your wife, or your wife should never have no problems with you. If y'all sincere, it's not gonna go wrong. But here's another one. Proverbs 27:15 says, a continual dropping in a rainy day and a contentious woman are alike. Same thing. I want to look up this word contentious. That's what it reads.
Strong's H 4066. Madon.
See, strife, contention, object to contention, to contest or quarrel, brawling. And that's how the woman is, discord. She always wants to argue about her opinion towards the situation, and it's just, man, it's not good for a woman to be like that. The Lord is upset with that kind of stuff. And when we try to show women and stuff, they try to look at it like we're trying to tell them, like, oh, you need to be this way because I said so. No, the Lord said you're supposed to be like this, and it was saying that whosoever hideth her hideth the wind and the ointment of his right hand, which bewrayeth itself. And kind of just give you a better understanding of that. Verse 16 says, stopping her complaints is like trying to stop the wind or trying to hold something with greased hands. See, you can't, so those type of women, the Lord just says, don't even deal with them. Don't even deal with them. But they're going to wish that we were dealing with them in that time of trouble. They're going to wish that we were around all that time, They could have came to repentance and gotten order, and we could have came together to serve Bahasham and Yahawashi correctly. But they don't want to do it. They want to just, they want to do whatever. So I got one more about it, and then I'm going to move on. As the jewel of gold, I got just a couple more precepts, a couple more articles, and then we're going to close out. So as a jewel of gold in a swine's snout is fair, so is a fair woman, which is without discretion. See, women do not have discretion. The desire of the righteous is only good, but the expectation of the wicked is wrath. And that's what a lot of women is like. They want to have drama and cause arguments, and a lot of women they find that as fun or interesting, and that's what I always run into with a lot of women out here. It's bad. So this woman's Bill of Rights thing, this is not rightful judgment. Is basically all I'm saying. This is wrong judgment proceeding in the land once again. So murder charge dismissed from man accused of hitting and killing an Edmond officer. So you could tell he's an Edomite. And look at that. He killed the officer and they still let him off. And that's just to show you that these men, they're not in trouble like other men. But it kind of just shows you a little bit how cruel they've been to Jake. But when it comes to their own kind, they don't do nothing about it. So Proverbs 26:25, if that was Jake who did that, they probably would have killed him on sight. Proverbs 26:25, so I talked about that if you kill one of these Edomites, the Lord will be avenged sevenfold. Said he will be avenged sevenfold. That's why I said we're not supposed to be killing nothing. So Proverbs 26:25, when he speaketh fair, believe him not. For there are 7 abominations in his heart, whose hatred is covered by deceit. His wickedness shall be showed before the whole congregation. And that's what's happening. Esau Edom is shadow banning everybody and coming out, making it where hard to find people videos. But that's how it's supposed to be, because the Lord only wants a certain amount of people to come across these videos. You know, this is what I was talking about. Psalm 73, verse 5. Says, they are not troubled as other men, neither are they plagued like other men. Their pride compasses them about as a chain, violence covers them as a garment. You know, and all the violence he did still doesn't matter. He's still wicked. That's how you mainly know he's an Edomite. You know, he's not going through no strife. He's not going through, you know, he's not really going through nothing. They're letting him out on murder. Okay, this is not like you just got caught with a gram of weed or whatever. Like they're letting him out on murder, straight off murder, murdering a police officer. So this is John 7:24. Judge not according to the appearance, but judge the righteous judgment. And that's why, you know, you want to be, you know, circumspect when it comes, you know, to the foreign Israelites that look like the other nations, because they're still Israel. You know, you want to test the spirits and kind of listen to them and see what they think, see where their mind's at, and see what's going on. And then, you know, if their spirit seems right, you can test the spirits, which says right here. And that's one big thing for all us new followers, you know, to keep that in mind. You know, not everybody out here that looks like a so-called white man is a so-called white man, or any other nation. Some of us look like Moab, the so-called Chinese. Some of us look like Ammon, the Japanese, you know. So you got to be real mindful of that when you're out here. You know, this is talking about testing the spirits, beloved. Believe not every spirit. It's 1 John chapter 4, verse 1. Beloved, believe not every spirit, but try the spirits whether they are of Yahawah, because many false prophets are going into the world. Hereby know ye the spirit of Yahawah. Every spirit that confesseth that Yahawashi Mashiach is come in the flesh is of Yahawah. And only Yahawah will make somebody want to do that. There's not going to be nobody doing that and don't want to do it, you know. But you got people that come in and out of the truth, yes, you know, for whatever reason, you know. But someone who's sincerely really doing that, not gonna happen. But right here, this is the land back that I wanted to do, and then I got about 3 more precepts and I'm gonna close out. Yeah. So pool harbor oil spills has potential to cause some massive damage. So it's another oil spill in 2 days. There's been 2 more oil spills, and this is them trying to get people to panic into I need to register. Okay, it says Pearl Harbor is one of the most strictly protected environmental areas in the UK and Europe, but as a frantic cleanup taking place on Monday shows it is not immune from pollution and oil spills. None of these places are. All these places are coming down, and people are starting to wake up that there's not going to be no more water. The wormwood, the wormwood prophecy is literally coming right before our eyes, you know. So whenever this place is destroyed with intercontinental ballistic missiles, all this water is going to be disgusting, and there are going to be people out there trying to drink it, and they're going to kill them. There's people going to drink it now, going to kill them. Lord is polluting these waters like bad. So this is what it says in Galatians. Galatians chapter 1 verse 10 reads, For do I now persuade men or Yahawah? Or do I seek to please men? For if I yet please men, I should not be a servant of a Mashiach. And that's why we're supposed to tell the truth, even whether people like it or not. And the majority, it's good that majority of people don't like it, because then that means that you're teaching the right doctrine. You know, if a whole lot of people like it and you just living comfortable, and it's a problem, you know. We're supposed to be doing this to please Bahasham, Yahawashi. And it says the world will hate us, you know, and they do, and they act like they don't, because and that's even more assuring to show that they some demons when they be like, oh no, I don't think, you know, I don't think of you like that, and they try to tell us that we're mad and we're madmen and we're crazy, and no, y'all raped and pillaged the land. You're gonna get destroyed for it. I'm not crazy for that. You're crazy for thinking that you're gonna do all that and you're just gonna live in peace. You're the madman. You're the one who's got the fucking screws in your head missing. So Ezekiel chapter 3, verse 18. When I say unto the wicked, thou shalt surely die, and thou givest him not warning. See, we're supposed to take unto the wicked. We're supposed to declare it to him. If they ask too many questions, just keep trying to have a conversation. Well, guess what? You don't convert, you're Israel, you're going to get put to death. And I tell the Edomites, yeah, you're going into slavery. Okay? And then you're going to be destroyed. I tell them right their face. Like, give a fuck. When I say unto the wicked, thou shalt surely die, and thou givest him not warning, nor speakest to warn the wicked from his wicked way to save his life, the same wicked man shall die in his iniquity, but his blood will I require at thine hand. Yet if thou warn the wicked, and he turn not from his wickedness, nor from his wicked way, he shall die in his iniquity, but thou hast delivered thy soul. See? That's what we're supposed to be doing. We're supposed to be telling them, you're going to get put to death, okay? You're supposed to tell them. And that's what a lot of people who are coming into this truth don't understand. Some of the new people like me, they need to understand. They need to get to the point where they need to start declaring this on the highways and byways, Luke 14:23. They must do that. That is a requirement, to present your body as a living sacrifice. They don't understand what sacrifice is. Sacrifice is time, you know, and patience. You gotta have the necessary patience. People can't even sit down and, you know, study for, you know, a couple hours a day. How much more are they gonna survive in Jacob's trouble? They're not gonna survive, you know. And when I came into this truth, I was doing 10-hour day studies. That's how I got to this point this quick. You know, being able to know some things. I still don't know everything, but I know, you know, I understand prophecy. I understand a lot of things, you know, when it comes to the simple breakdowns. You know, there's still many things that I can learn though. So Romans chapter 8, verse 6, for to be carnally minded is death, but to be spiritually minded is life and peace. And the more you learn, the more you have that peace of like, man, I got treasure. I got real treasure that this world don't have, while they all seeking gold. And it says, because the carnal mind is enmity against Yahawah, for it is not subject to the law of Yahawah, neither indeed can be. See, they can't even receive the laws and statute commandments. And how you know that you have these laws and statute commandments is when you read them. Like when I first heard Great Millstone, it put fear in my heart. I was like, oh man, I'm supposed to be doing this. You know, and that's a way that you can see that you're Israel, you know. That's a way to see in the spirit. But it says, so then they that Salakia, so then they that are in the flesh cannot please Yahawah. But ye are not in the flesh, but in the spirit. So if so, ye be that the spirit of Yahawah dwell in you. If any man have not the spirit of a Mashiach, he is none of his. And if a Mashiach be with you, the body is dead because of sin, but the spirit is life because of righteousness. You know, and that's what they don't understand. We feel dead here. They feel alive here. They're like, I got a nice house. You know, we're doing good. You know, my next door neighbor tried to be like, okay, when the tornado happened, he tried to be like, yeah, my fence. It was a tornado barrier fence, and it saved everybody over here. What? Yo, bugged out ass. You need to stop drinking so much, man. I drink too, but you drinking way too much, little bro. You drinking way too much. You know, how you gonna say a damn fence gonna save everybody over here? You literally said that's and he's Catholic, so that makes a lot of sense. Okay, these motherfuckers be saying some bugged out ass shit. Okay, because I tried to go to the store last night. He tried to be all nice, be like, come have a drink of wine. I said, sure, okay, whatever, sure. Went over there because usually Lord just put the spirit on me to just go declare people and see who they is. You know, just be like, yup, this what's gonna happen to your ass. You think it's a game? We're gonna find out who's right. Like, I'm not scared to tell nobody in their face that Bahasham is gonna destroy their ass. They ask me enough questions, so they try to be all on that friendly fucking, hey, what's up, buddy? Yeah, sure, we can kick it. Do whatever you want to do. Because you're gonna find out that I'm sacrificing my life for Bahasham Yahawashi. And he's got me protected no matter what you think or do. You know, sometimes I like to put myself in harm's way so people can get condemned. We're trying to take everybody out in this motherfucker and get marked. Everybody in this motherfucker that needs to get marked so we can get the elect home. Lord willing, we part of that number. So that's all I got for today. You know, Lord willing, I can come up because this is what I was supposed to do last night when I got back, but I ended up I was so tired. I ended up falling asleep. So I want to go ahead and try to see if I can get another video out before I go to camp. So Lord willing, I can do that and get that going. And then I'll probably go out and do another camp lesson tonight when I get back. So Lord willing, this is edifying to those, you know, who tuned in later on. The water for tuning in. Calling Yahawashi, Bahasham, Qadash. I want to give double honors to the elders and apostles of great millstone. Led me to this truth, the faith, and sincerity. Lord willing, he keep us in the spirit and don't take away the Yahawah Qadash, which is Psalms chapter 51, verse 11. Stay prayed up and, you know, stay strong. Time is coming. It's almost time to go home. It's almost time to go home. We can get up out of here. So I'm ready to live with Yahawashi Yahawashi forever. That's where I want to be. Lord willing. So the water for tuning in. Calling Yahawashi Yahawashi, and Lord willing, we'll be back with another lesson and get to breathe another day to exalt the name of Yahawashi Yahawashi. Shalom.